All right. Jerry Callison is a friend of ours from a different writers group a ways away in Aurora.
I live in Aurora.
That's what it is, yes. And occasionally visits us. And so Jerry has a piece that he'd like to share tonight. I'm not even sure what it is, although he's got a beautiful, beautiful book called A Mouse in the House. And here he is, Jerry Callison.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I hope this is the best year of your life. Yeah. Okay. I had not intended to read tonight. In fact, I wasn't even supposed to be here. But when y'all have these, I like to be here, and I enjoy hearing what you've been writing. I'm going to share with you tonight my new release, Mouse in the House for the Love of Peanut Butter. This is supposed to be humor. Well, the genesis of the story is I saw a mouse in my kitchen, and being kind of like Jim, being a writer, my brain kind of goes differently, and I got to thinking, what if? And that's always dangerous. So I started with it, and I sent the story to my daughter and asked her to read it to my granddaughter just to see if she thought it was any good. Evie giggled all the way through. So Mouse in the House for the Love of Peanut Butter is dedicated to Evie, who giggled. Mouse shivered under a large leaf, ears twitching and turning as she listened for any sign of someone chasing her. All she had wanted was a little something to eat. It all started when she crept through a small hole under the kitchen sink. Peanut butter. She smelled peanut butter. Tiptoeing along the baseboard, she followed the scent. Peanut butter. There it was, just a little bit on a shelf, nose high. If she would have stopped to think, she would have wondered why it was there, but the sweet smell was too much. Hunger and a love of peanut butter was all Mouse could think about. Mouse saw a cat across the room. She looked back to make sure her escape was clear. A little metal bar lay between her and that lovely peanut butter. That's easy to get, Mouse thought. Silent as a ghost, she tiptoed onto the bar. She pressed down just enough to loosen the latch of the trap. It snapped shut, flipping her into the air. Cat saw her and pounced. Mouse's paw caught at the hem of the tablecloth. She pulled herself up and away from Cat. Cat jumped for her and climbed up the tablecloth right behind Mouse. Mouse ran across the table, dodging around bowls, cups, and salt and pepper shakers. What was that cereal baby was eating? It smelled delicious. Mouse didn't have time to stop. Cat stayed close on her tail. Father swung at Mouse with his newspaper, knocking over dishes and splashing creamer into Cat's face. Cat stopped to lick her whiskers, and Mouse hid under a tipped-over cup. Cat pawed at the cup, and Mouse fell out. Cat pounced again. With a desperate leap, Mouse jumped from the table to the top of Mother's dress. Mouse ducked inside the dress to hide from Cat. Mother jumped to her feet, screaming. She threw her hot tea into Father's face. Baby laughed with glee and pounded the table with her little spoon. Mother's screams hurt Mouse's ears. Mouse crawled down inside the dress until she came to Mother's belt. She could go no further. It was difficult to stay on her feet since Mother was dancing about, swatting at her dress. To the back, Mouse crawled. Suddenly, the zipper flew open and Mouse fell out onto Father's sleeve. Father flung out his arm. Mouse flew across the table into Baby's bowl. Since she was there, Mouse gobbled one quick bite. She climbed back onto the table and ran down the tablecloth and dropped to the floor. Dog had gotten into the fun by now. Mouse skittered for her hole with Cat close behind. Dog furiously gave chase. Mouse wasn't sure if Dog was chasing her or Cat. She didn't have time to look. A broom thundered onto the floor in front of her. Unable to stop or reach her hole, Mouse ran onto the broom and up the handle by Mother's hand. Screaming again, Mother threw the broom away. It hit Father in the nose. Mouse scrambled onto Father's shoulder, ran down his arm, and hopped onto the counter. Cat jumped up behind her and slid into a sink full of water. Dog put his front paws up on the counter and barked. With nowhere else to go, Mouse jumped on the dog's head and ran down the back of his neck. Cat jumped on the dog too, splashing water all over him, but then dog went after Cat. They fought, forgetting about Mouse. Mouse jumped to the floor next to the trap and smelled that wonderful peanut butter. Could she stop for a bite? Her mouth watered, but when she saw Father, she scampered for her hole. Father's foot came down in front of the hole and she bumped her nose on his shoe. Mouse turned and scrambled for the door, slipping and sliding as she ran. Mother and her broom were right behind. With a swat of the broom, Mother knocked Mouse out the door and onto the grass. Dizzy, Mouse crawled over to Mother's prized flowers. Mouse shivered there for a few moments beneath a large leaf, ears twitching and turning as she listened for signs of anyone chasing her. She snuggled up under a flower and nibbled on a petal. It wasn't peanut butter, but it tasted good. The illustrations on this were done by Donna Setterland, who was one of 2 artists who developed Tinkerbell for Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah. Jerry, we are glad that you're here. Thank you for that. Feel free to come back anytime.